one person here. It was me. I was here last week. I parked outside and I started getting my stuff and I thought, wonder why there's nobody here. There's no cars or anything like, anyway. I felt a bit of an idiot, so. But thank goodness you weren't here. I had a lot of fun. Shush, John. Okay, so I've given you an armband. It's called a behavioral change band. And the question really is, what do I do to escape comfort zones? So I'm not going to go into comfort zones because last month we spoke about comfort zones. And in order to change, you need to do a few things. How easy is it to change? Is it difficult? Depends what you're trying to change. So for all of us, change is difficult. It depends. And we all have things that we want to change that we have probably tried to change and it just hasn't worked. And so in order to change, who remembers what goes in the middle of this? You got a wanna. Okay, just say that together. Everybody, you got a wanna. You want to change, you got a wanna. If you don't wanna, then don't waste my time or your time. Okay, you got to wanna change. And what are the three things that we need, the fundamentals for change? For you gotta wanna, what are the three things? The first thing you need starts with a D, is desire. Desire leads to belief, and belief leads to action. And that's how you change. So if you want to change, you gotta wanna. You gotta have a desire to change. That will automatically lead to a belief, and that belief will lead you to action. So the behavior change band is an action item. If you want to change, you have a desire to change, you say, right, I want to change this particular behavior. So I want to eat more healthy food. So in order to eat more healthy food, I go and I see the plate of stuff over there, and do I choose what's on the right, the scones, or do I choose what's on the left, the fruit kebabs? But I pick up a scone. Immediately I pick up the scone, I give myself a real flick on the wrist. By the end of the day, all I'm doing with the band is raising your awareness, your level of awareness, because we go through life doing the same things over and over, and so your habits are in the unconscious competent frame of mind. That's where your habits are. You just do them. So how do you stop them? How do you make the change? Unless somebody's there prodding you, say, hey, you're doing it wrong again. So you use the band, if you wanna, to flick yourself. By the end of the day, your wrist is quite red, sore, but you're very aware. And I guarantee by the end of the day, you would have stopped. Those of you that have got real problems, you can use one of these. All right. Don't come to me with your IODs. All right. John spoke to us in February. John Broom spoke to us in February. He mentioned the why. And the why is a big part of my life. What change requires is for us to stretch. And today I want to talk to you about your why. Why did you get up this morning? Why do you get up in the morning? If you don't know your why, then it's very much of a struggle. So I'm just going to share with you a couple of things that will just help us with that. But Sengi, in his book, The Fifth Discipline, talks about creating tension. So I want us just to imagine that my left arm is where you currently are in terms of whatever it is that you want to change. What is this elastic band made to do? To stretch. When is it using its potential now? All right. So if you are not stretching yourself, you're not using your potential. So if this is where I am today and I want to make a change, and so I stretch, and I make the change. When I've made the change, do I go back here? No, what happens to current reality becomes where the desired reality was. Here's my desired reality, I make the change, it becomes my current reality. Look at the distance I've traveled. You are made to stretch. And so today I want to just share with you people that have stretched, people that know their why. And I want you to know your why. I want you to leave here today and just say, why do I get up in the morning? What is the reason for doing? Is it easy to run our own businesses? No. And how many of us sometimes feel like throwing the towel in, or am I the only one? You just think, you know what, I just had enough. But when you know your why, you will not have that problem. You've really got to nail it. All right. So you'll know this person, Natalie DuToit, age 14 when she started training. 2001, she was riding her motorbike back home back to school from the swimming practice, and then she was hit by a motor car, and she had her left leg amputated at the knee. Within 3 months of that amputation, she was back in the pool. Before she could walk, she was back in the pool preparing for the 2002 Olympics. Does she know her why? I bet she did. I bet she did. You know this guy? Sibusiso Vulani, the Swaziland goat herder. Climbed both summits of Mount Everest, first the south and then the north. He was there recently with the first black lady to climb the mountain when there was that landslide and those 14 Sherpas. I can never get that name. I call them girders, herders, but not Sherpas. Sherpas, okay. I must just think of shirkers, which they're not. You spend your day climbing a mountain, okay? And they came back. So he's got to go back and he's got to do that again. So I'm really, I mean, why did I use this? Did they have the desire? Did they have the belief? Did they have the action? Did they make it happen? Absolutely. All right. So change, which is what we're talking about here, changing the way you see your life, is not about ability in the case of Natalie or background in the case of Sibusiso rather. It's got nothing to do with that. Change is about motivation. And it's not, I can't motivate you. Don't believe that anybody can motivate you. Please don't believe that. You can only motivate yourself. I can inspire you, and that's the difference between what I do and what some of the speakers do. I'm here just to influence the way you're thinking. That's all I'm here to do. What you do with that is entirely your responsibility. I cannot take responsibility for that. I don't have the time or the energy to walk with you through life and help you climb a mountain. I've got other people that I'm trying to influence their thinking. So that's what I do. I love doing that. That's my passion. And I drive for long-term behavior change. And I know that long-term behavior change takes place when we address what's going on up in our head. And today I want to talk about what's going up in your head in terms of why you're here. What is your purpose? Natalie's purpose is to make a difference in the world of swimming. That's where she lives. That's what she eats, sleeps, drinks, breathes. Sibusiso is not. He's into mountaineering. He just had his anniversary of his climb, his first summit. Okay, so the greatest self-motivator is to know your why. When you know your why, you won't need anybody to get you out of bed in the morning. You'll just do it. And so the purpose, Richard Leader, I like the way he's done this, the power of purpose, your why. The purpose is the conscious choice of what, where, and how to make a positive contribution to our world. What are you doing? Answer that question. What are you doing? What is your conscious choice to make a difference to your world, to the world that you interact in? It is the theme, the quality, or passion we choose to center our lives around. So when you get up in the morning, everything that you do is focused around that purpose, that passion, that difference that you want to make in people's lives. And if you don't have that now and you feel, but I don't feel like that about the things that I'm doing, then find out what it is that you want to do, but don't waste time. I was retrenched in 1998. I was 48 years old, wrong color, wrong gender in a new South Africa. 48. Then throw the towel in, and 15, 17 years later, I'm still doing that. I had a passion for that, making a difference. And that drives me. And I've been on my own. I'm not where I want to be, but I've been on my own ever since, because there's nothing that can put me down. Drives my wife nuts. Because it's no problem to get up 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. I can't wait to get here to get started. I can't wait to go back home now and prepare something for a client I was with yesterday. Because I know that I can make that difference. That's my purpose. So I've defined my purpose to be happy. That's a nice purpose. It's my why. And to have peace of mind as I influence for significant, positive, long-term behavior change the thinking of those I interact with. As a coach, as an author, as a facilitator, and as a speaker. That's why I get up in the morning. That's why I came here this morning. I want to be happy. I want to have peace of mind. Doing what I know can influence and change people's lives. I know it does. It changed my life. Dramatically. Dramatically. How grateful. Not without divine intervention. You don't do this on your own. Don't ever think you do it on your own. If you're not asking for divine intervention, then I'm sorry, you're going to frustrate yourself. There is a greater power that can help you overcome some of the behaviors and the bad habits and things that really challenge us. So Tara West, I'm going to give you her website just now. You go and visit her website, and she's got a wonderful information on self-reflection, which is really... Is self-reflection uncomfortable? Does self-reflection require some stretching? You bet. Proper self-reflection will be an ANA exercise for you to really uncover what's lying inside you. Self-reflection is how I help people remove the obstacles that are standing in the way. We can all change, but you'll only change when you identify the obstacle and focus on your purpose. The obstacles will always be there. The obstacles will always be there. We will never have a clear path. You will always have that obstacle standing in your way. So my message to you really is have such a big vision, such a big purpose, such a big why, that it doesn't matter what obstacles stand in your way. You want to talk about obstacles? Come talk to me. Addiction, retrenchment, sequestration, divorce. I'll tell you about obstacles. They will not stop me. Nothing will stop me. I'm not divorced now, but I'm very happily married. but I've gone through that. That's trauma. Losing your children. That's trauma. Losing your family to death. Those are obstacles. Those things have the potential to derail us. And if you know your why, you'll get up in the morning and you'll be excited by that. How many of you, okay, so your life purpose works hand in hand with your values. I'm talking about my value. I mentioned divinity. That's the value that I work on. I'm here today because of a loving God and my relationship with Christ. That's why I'm here today, and I give them credit for that. But at the end of the day, I've got to do the action. I've got to make it happen. And I work on that value. What's your value base? When you understand your value base, those two are combined hand in hand with your purpose. Give you the unwavering belief in what you stand for and ensures your life, you live your life by design. Not by somebody else. Are you the driver of your vehicle? Or are you the passenger in your vehicle of life? Are you allowing somebody to get in your vehicle and take over the steering wheel and drive? Do we do that? Well, if you know your destiny and you know your why and you know where you're going, only you behind the wheel. Because you can't trust anybody to take you there. But how many times are we influenced by other people coming into our lives and derailing the process and becoming drivers of our vehicles? Be careful of who the passengers are, because many of the passengers are backseat drivers. They're backseat drivers and they're muttering in the background. How many people truly want your success? How many people are really interested in your success, in your happiness, in your peace of mind? Truly are. You can count them on one hand. You can count them on one hand. Be careful of who comes into your vehicle. You are happier and fulfilled when doing what's most important to you and expressing it in every part of your life. So you take your business, the passion you have for your business, and wherever you go, you express the joy and whatever that is, express what it does for you and what the contribution is that you're trying to make in your life. Okay, how many of you have heard of Stephen Sutton? Okay, he died middle of the month, last month. Okay, and the reason I brought this is I listened to something that he had said, and he says, I haven't asked how long I've got to live because I don't see the point in measuring the worthiness of your life in terms of time, but rather measure it in terms of what you achieve. That coming out of a 19-year-old, he died at the age of 20, or going on 20, for me was profound. Profound. This guy died from colorectal cancer that he contracted 5 years ago, went under intensive, aggressive radiation therapy and all those kind of things that go with that. And he started a charity for teenage cancer. And he set a target of X amount. And he got his target times 4. £4 million. 4 times more than what he had said he's goal at. Why? What drove him?
It's still ongoing. He's on about 4.5 now.
Well, that organisation.
The organisation is
okay.
still ongoing.
He has left, and he has left a footprint that is profound. But the reason for it, the question is, how did he do that? He knew his why. Unfortunately, his life was on the end of that why. But he knew his why, and he went and he did it. And he did it for others. We are here, folks, to help other people find business. There's nothing, it's not dissimilar. It's the attitude that we have. Do we come here to gain, or do we come here to give and see who we can introduce to? Why did we come here? Why did you get up this morning? Was it for selfish reasons, or was it to give? We're all selfish. We all have a need, our personal needs. I'm not saying that in a negative context. But when we come and we say, I want to share, I want to find out who I can introduce other people to, and we have that kind of mindset, that should be part of your why. Because that gives me peace of mind. That makes me happy. So that's part of my why. Okay. So I just found that ready. What have you achieved? And that's what we should be looking for. You could be dead tomorrow. We don't know. We don't know when it's our time, when we're going to be called off this planet. We don't know. So what you achieve today is the significant part of your life. What you learn from yesterday is significant. And how you apply that moving forward to tomorrow is just as significant. What will tomorrow bring? We don't know. It's about today. The achievements that you measure your life by today. I'm not saying don't have a vision for your life. On the contrary, you need that. We need to be looking to something, a bigger picture. That drives us. Today can't necessarily drive us. If we look at the cold weather that's coming, I need to borrow that hat for the next 5 days. Okay.
You only get about 5 days a year to wear this hat in this country.
So not knowing your why manifests itself in different behaviors. Do you think this has an impact when we go out into the world? Do we sometimes feel like this? I'm sick and tired of it. I don't know what to do. All right. Know your why. Know your why. There's a big difference between those kind of attitudes and this kind of attitude. It's even in the shape of a why. Okay. So jump for joy. Be grateful for the blessings that are in your life. You've got a business. It may not be where you want it to be. But the only way you're going to get it to where you want it to be is to know why you're here and what your purpose is. What is your purpose on this planet? Okay, in order to do that, you need to do some self-reflection and try and touch on some values that you have in your life. So you can take this down, or you can visit the www.thie-course website. Thie-course, the numeral 3 course, COURSE.co.za. You'll find this presentation on there, and you'll also find that information, obviously, on the slide presentation. So you can, Brian, have you got that on there? Okay, so if you go in here, Tara's got a wonderful self-reflection exercise. It'll take you, it's a couple of pages. Brilliant if you just want to have an experience of what self-reflection is truly like. I have a book called Renovate Your Life, which is about self-reflection. It's about looking at your life and understanding what it is that you want. The purpose is addressed in that book. The 8 facets of your life are addressed in that book. So my wish for you is to identify, if you haven't, and if you have, crystallize it. The real reason why you came here today and why you're going to get up tomorrow morning. May it drive you to the success that you deserve. Thank you very much.